Hello. This is Trout. Um, Thought it would be cool to kind of do like a dirty little car EP commentary, kind of explain, like what was going on whenever I was making these, what my ideas were, give a little insight on the making of the album. I thought that would be kind of cool. So, his first song, Trumpet Composition. Uh, I had I I'd make all my shit in BandLab, and I was kind of just fucking around, seeing what I thought would sound funny, to put in a beat, and I ended up coming across. I think it's a flugelhorn. It's not even a trumpet. I don't really even know what a flugelhorn is. Maybe it is a trumpet, but I thought it would be kind of funny, so I decided to kind of mess around with it, see how it sounds, and just record that. And I wasn't planning on doing anything with it, but that ended up being trumpet composition. What you're hearing now, I didn't actually end up putting it in a beat, but I was going for something, real soulful, real deep, meaningful, impactful with this song. A great little intro to the album, EP, sorry. Alright, so now we're getting to the real meat and potatoes of the album. This is kind of where things really start. Fugal. So this song doesn't actually feature a flugelhorn, but I needed to come up with a name for it, and I don't really pay much attention to what I call the songs, and I couldn't think of anything, but I decided to call it Fugal because that it comes after trumpet composition on the album, and trumpet composition used a flugelhorn. I think I'm pretty sure that was my line of thinking. This was the last song that I ended up making for the EP. I did a really cool thing where at the beginning, once the bass comes in, I actually have two basses going. I have like a pluck bass, slap bass kinda. You can't really hear it too well whenever it's mixed in with the 808 as well. But I got two basses going. I'm really out here pushing boundaries with my music. And so then whenever towards the end, a third one comes in with that instrument that I have that's kind of doing like the main thing. I double it and have it real low down, and it copies the bass as well. And I think that's pretty cool. Like I said, I really am out here reinventing the wheel, pushing boundaries with music. It's kind of really crazy. Okay, pipes. This is one of my favorites from the album. It was EP, sorry. It was one of the first I made for it, and it samples this guy called the Jolly Show, I think he's called, and he goes around telling people to say bubbles if they want a jolly prize. And originally, it leaned like way more into that sample. It was a lot clearer and more intelligible, but I think kind of making it, I fucked it up a little bit more, and I think that works a lot. I think that makes it a lot better. I've moved away from Plunderphonics more, and it also has a nice, like, real filthy low bass, kind of inspired by like Big Fat Fuck by Ween. Aglet, oh Aglet, my beloved. This is definitely my favorite from the EP. Probably my favorite song that I've made. I was really inspired by Hot Shower by Chance the Rapper on this one. Huge Chance fan. Hot Shower is my personal favorite song from him. And what I tried to go for a little bit was at the beginning, it has kind of like a real stupid, almost sounds like a fart, melody going. And then once it gets to the main thing, there's a super oversaturated, loud bass. Eventually there's the little tiny kind of like ambient chimes that come in echoing the bass. I think that's real cool. The fart melody switches up a tiny bit. What I'm on my previous project, Billions Must Trout, I was kind of going for just like discoherent, stupid noise, and I like that. But now I'm going for more, not really just like shit noise in general, and more really bad, terrible beats. And I think I achieved that pretty well with this song. That's why it's my favorite from the EP. I think that the Dirty Little Car EP is leagues better than my previous work. It's much more coherent. I'm using a much more, like, concise sound selection. Most of the tracks use just 808 drums. I think that works a lot better. For fans of this song, I have something real good in the works. I have around like an 8.5 minute extended mix of this. Part of my goal was kind of, because this is 4 minutes, and most of my songs are like 30 seconds to a minute and a half. And I wanted to kind of just make it drag out way longer than it needs to be. Have it be a really uncomfortable listen. And I hope I achieved that well. I think I did. But just in case I didn't, I'm working on that 8.5 extended mix. And it is going to go a little bit more into discoherent noise. Kind of return to my roots a little bit. But it's going to get there eventually. I'm turning it into a noise prog post hip-hop epic. It's going to be really cool. I feel like it's also worth mentioning that this was the second song that I made for the project. And originally, it wasn't supposed to be released on this. I had a completely different idea in mind initially. And this Dirty Little Car EP, it was going to be, I didn't even have a name for it. I didn't really have anything. I was kind of just making my, like, regular beats, like, that were on Billions Must Trout. But yeah, this wasn't meant to be on there. I was kind of just fucking around trying to make something like Hot Shower, but I ended up really loving this, and it kind of like paved the way for the direction I decided I was gonna go in. This was the one that really made me figure out, like, hey, what I was doing previously probably isn't gonna work for too much longer, and I like this a lot more. So even though this wasn't the first song that I ended up making that made it to the EP, this was the one that really helped me figure out what I want, help me with my vision for this, and I love it for that. I think this is probably, like I said before, my finest work. It's gonna stay like that for a while, I think. I really love this song. I'm really proud of it. Right here at the end kind of ties into what I was saying about making it just as uncomfortable as possible. The bass loops way longer than it should. This is a similar tactic to what I used on Trout Christmas, Merry Christmas from my last album. And I did really like that, so I think that's probably a tactic I'm going to continue to use. I don't actually remember making this song, but I like it a lot. I like what I was doing, like having it pan from left to right. I think that's amusing. I like this one, but I don't remember it, or what I was trying to do. And we finally reached the end of the EP. This track, Air Conditioner. This one is, I think it's pretty cool what I did. So the, like, swirling, ominous, crazy sound you're hearing was actually a vocal thing, like on BandLab. It was a vocal MIDI preset. And what I did was I, like, pitched it up a bunch and added a bunch of effects to it. And I think it gives it, like, a crazy alien abduction feel, or like it's the future. It's very sleek, very, I don't know, it's like an air conditioner. That's why I decided to call it that. It reminded me of an air conditioner. And, that's really all I have to say about this. So I guess I'll move on to a little bit about the album as a whole instead of just songs. So Dirty Little Car EP, where the term Dirty Little Car comes from, was I was at Sam's Club. Sam's, it's like Costco, but a little bit better, I assume, because I've never been to a Costco. And as I was like in the parking lot, I ended up going past this really dirty car. It was a blue, I think it was an SUV or something like that. And somebody had wrote on the back of it, "Loser, dirty little car," and put a smiley face. And I really liked that. I thought that was awful funny. And I didn't have a name for this yet. Like I said, I don't really focus too much on naming things, but I liked Dirty Little Car, so that's what it's called. You can listen to the album without me talking over it. It's my previous video. It's also on my channel. You can also go listen to it on Bandcamp, and you can go rate it on Album of the Year, pretty please. Links to the Bandcamp and the video without me talking over it, and the Album of the Year, all of it is going to be linked in the description. Thank you. I smile very big and wave goodbye.